Ladies and gentlemen, it's Bulldozer TV again. And this is a happy moment for all Bulldozer TV fans because always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. It was 3 hours of excruciating football. 3 fucking hours of excruciating football. Let me tell you, the game didn't live up to a Champions League finals. It was so boring. One team had 72% of the game. That was PSG, whilst Arsenal had 28% of possession. Keepers didn't make any exceptional saves because Arsenal was so airtight in defense. Throughout the game, Saka, who was their winger, was playing as a right back because they were doubling up Saka with Mosquera, doubling up against Kvaratskhelia. And then Trossard and Hinkapie were doubling up against Doué. Dembele was awful in the game. Let's call it a spade a spade. He was awful. He reminded me of the 2022 World Cup when he was playing against Spain. France against Spain when he was awful and got hooked. That was how Dembele played today. Yeah, forget about the penalty. This is why I don't just look at stats. I have the eye test. The eye test is what football is supposed to be, not just stats. Because then, Dembele scored in the final. He was totally shit. He was awful. The game was actually a bit boring. It was a 3 hours, and I had a watch party where friends came in to watch the game with me. And like everybody was tired when it goes to the extra time. Everybody was so tired. They were like, we need a game to end. We need a game to end because the game was so fucking boring that we even watching the game got tired of the game. We just wanted it to go to penalties. We just wanted the game to go to penalties. And my God, the first goal from Havertz, that goal was so beautiful. He struck the ball very well. And that was the only place he could have struck the ball. The keeper should have stand on his ground. But the way the ball came, he just knelt down and then the ball went to the roof above him. That was a beautiful goal. I was telling my friends, I told them, we don't need Arsenal to score. Of course, I'm a Chelsea fan. Everybody except Arsenal fans were supporting PSG because we know these noise polluters. We know what they can do. So we didn't want to have a lot of noise pollution. We wanted to protect our environment from Arsenal. So I told them, we don't need Arsenal to score the first goal because the moment they score the first goal, they are going to fuckingly sit back. It's going to be a boring game, a dirty game. And that is exactly what happened. 6 minutes into the game, Marquinhos didn't clear the ball very well. The ball hit at, I think, Trossard. It went to Kai Havertz, and that was a lovely goal. He took his goal brilliantly, and this reminded me of 2021. A pass from Mason Mount to Kai Havertz, and then he scored. So we're like, is Arsenal going to do a Chelsea in 2021? And would the goal scorer be the same goal scorer that used to play for Chelsea? That was Kai Havertz. And my God, my friends could see the pressure. They could see the pressure that was on me. It felt like I was a Paris Saint-Germain player. The pressure was on me. I was shivering. I was like, damn, what? And Arsenal, they were delaying tactics when they had the throw ball. They took minutes upon minutes, a long time to throw the ball, and then the referee got fed up and then gave Mosquera a yellow card. Nobody. First half 1-0, second half a penalty that Mosquera caught, and nobody in the world that watches football will say that was not a penalty. That was a clear penalty because Mosquera caught Kvaratskhelia before touching the ball. So it was a clear penalty and everybody agreed to it. Dembele scored. That was his only contribution. He scored a goal, but in the game, he just even couldn't give a simple pass. That was how atrocious he was. And then the sub Kvaratskhelia, because he got injured, the sub him, brought in Bakola, had 2 good chances. He used his space, but as we know, it's Bradley Bakola. The first chance kudos to Raya. He did very well. He did very well to come out. I thought he was not going to come out, but he read the danger, come out and caught it. But if he hadn't, it would have been a goal, or he would have caused a penalty if he had been a second late. And he had another one. He missed. Perfect Bradley Bakula style. He missed. And but Arsenal, but before then, in the first time, Arsenal had a chance where Kai Havertz could have doubled the lead, but then a good block from Marquinhos, and apart from that, the game was just dead. It was just a dead rubber. Extra time was nothing to say, and then we went to the penalties. We went to penalties, and honestly, I thought Arsenal would have won. I thought this was their day, but then Eze missed the penalty, and this was the problem. He overthought. The moment he got to the ball, he overthought. He wanted the keeper to move, and the keeper didn't move. I think he already had a position he wanted to put the ball. But then when he overthought, and the moment he started to think twice, the moment he had a lot of things running in his head, it was game over. And then what did he do? He just kicked the ball out of play. Keeper didn't even have to save it. It just went over to the right hand side of the keeper, but just not in goal outside. And then Nuno Mendes, why are you rushing? You have the advantage. You fucking have the advantage. Why are you rushing? Didn't even take a breather. Just came to the ball, put the ball down, jog a little bit, and then it was a very good save. It wasn't a very good penalty. It wasn't a good penalty from Nuno Mendes. So a perfect touch for Raya, and then the game was toppy. And this is the thing. The moment I saw Gabriel, the fifth penalty, all my friends, the watch party were like he was going to miss it. Not because we hated Arsenal, but because he swung to the penalty and it's Gabriel. We never see him even score with his head. He's a very good defender, a very great defender with Saliba, but he's not the best when it comes to striking the ball or doing whatever. So when he came here, like he was going to do a John Terry. He was bad. The caveat was that John Terry slept. Let's not forget, he slept. It would have been a perfect penalty. He slept and he even hit the post. He hit the post. He slipped and hit the post. But what did Gabriel did? He fucking blazed the ball. So, yeah, if it was any other player, that would have been a travesty. Because Arsenal fans cannot blame Gabriel because he has been their savior throughout the season. He has had a very great season. But this is what I want to tell Arsenal fans. Madueke. This guy, when he was in my beloved Chelsea Football Club against Everton, when Chelsea were leading by 4 goals to, we had a penalty. And he was fighting with Cole Palmer and Jackson for the penalty. Champions League final. This is where legends are made. Penalty shootout. And this guy, 5 penalties, he was nowhere to be found. He was hiding behind the other players. If it was against Everton, that he was fighting for penalty, but against PSG in an important game where the lights were bright, he decided to hide. So, but you know what? We, the Chelsea fans, we, the world, we are fucking happy because of what happened today. At least I can open my WhatsApp. I can go on Twitter. I can text YouTube and it's calm. Because always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Always the bridesmaid, never. It's a lovely and a beautiful day. And ici, c'est Paris. Ici, c'est Paris. Arsenal, drink our tears. Chelsea admit this time was like, there is an European tour at the London Stadium. Just come and watch Chelsea's Champions League and Club World Cup. The other teams cannot do that. They're not London. The London neighbor cannot do that because, well, they can never win the Champions League. 20 years later, they went to the finals, which is today, and they lost again. So, like, we have to wait for another 20 years for them to go to the finals again and lose. That's not. They are tears. I love us now tears. Always the bridesmaid, never. The season is has ended, and then we are going straight to the World Cup. Until then, it's Bulldozer TV. Cheers.